What's going on, y'all? I got my friend Lauren with me on the channel.
Hey.
My name is Young Simba, aka Wakanda Forever. I'm
Wow.
just playing. My name is Jordan. Good to meet y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Hey, today we're going to be talking about community. What is community? Why is community important? What are the challenges of community? And so I wanted to talk to Lauren. She's so wealthy when it comes to this topic. She's been in community for a long time. And so, Lauren, thank you again for doing this.
You're welcome.
I know this is going to encourage other people. So let's start off. What is community?
That's a really good question. I think we should take the dictionary out.
Yes. Let me go to the library and grab it.
Wow. I could get my phone. Okay, I like to give literal definitions because I feel like we live in a very literal society right now.
Right.
And so if you don't give like literal definition, people be like, nah, that ain't true, da 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 da. But anyway, we don't have definitions, so I would say, these are just my words, community is a group of people that you gather around and you do life with, and you guys have common ground and interests. Whether that is religious beliefs, hobbies, how many kids you have, you know, et cetera, et cetera. There are so many different kinds of communities for different kinds of things, but baseline, community is a group of people that you gather with to around a certain topic or just to do life with.
Yeah.
And yeah, community should be made up of friends,
Right.
family members,
Right.
people that you enjoy. Yeah, community.
That's good. So, what's some of the things that you've experienced being in the midst of community, after college and now? Like, what has that been for you with your experiences with community?
I would say that community has looked different for me over the years. Once I graduated from college, I went and I lived back home in Indiana with my parents, and I definitely had a community with my church family, my cousins, a few of my best friends. We were all living in community together, but it was a little different because our commonalities is like we love Jesus, we loved each other,
Right.
and that was great. But we were in different stages and places in life, and so like my friends were married, my sister was married, they had children, and I just had a couple single friends, and so it kind of felt hard to do community with them, and so about 4 years ago I was looking for a community that was primarily single individuals running after the heart of God, single young adult individuals.
Right.
And so I found myself in Tacoma, Washington, and I joined a church called City Central, and they have an awesome young adults ministry. But essentially, I came because there was a missionary school called Catalyst Training School, and so that's kind of like the beginning of my living an intentional community.
Right.
And so we live in this big house called the Mansion, and it's just, I don't know, like 30 young adults. And we're all running after the same thing, which is the heart of the Father. And I would say we come from various backgrounds, and our relationship with the Lord looks different and things like that. But intentionally, we gather around the Word, we gather in worship, we gather to know Him more and to love each other better. So, that being said, even though we're gathered to love God more, people are not perfect, and yeah, because and I'm not perfect, and so when you get a few imperfect people together, you find that community can be very challenging, especially because not everybody grows up the same way, even in the same part part of the country. Not
Right.
everybody comes from
Personalities,
the
ethnicity.
same culture, ethnicity, all of those things. So when I first moved here, I was the only black girl from black culture that lived here in a house with a couple Hispanics and majority Caucasian individuals. And I would say the only reason I didn't have like culture shock is because my undergrad experience was predominantly Caucasian.
Right.
And so, you know, like that in and of itself could have been like a really hard thing. And it was at times just because I feel like I'm a part of many different communities, not just this one. And so I'm a part of the black community. And so there's things that happen in the black community that doesn't necessarily affect the community that I'm a part of because not everybody is black.
Right.
I'm a part of a church community, you know,
Yeah.
like, and if you're not really into church, but you're still a part of my community, things that I'm into or am interested in, it may not faze you at all. And so it's like coming together, common ground, da 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 da, not being put off by people's preferences with different things, likes or dislikes, but it's like, what is our commonality, and let's stick to it or build upon it while we work out our differences.
Yep. That's good.
I don't know if that answers the question. But.
No, you did. You did.
Okay.
So why do you? So like when it comes to community, for people that may not be in community right now, especially when it comes to the faith, like following Jesus, why is it like a vital, important thing that people need in their walk with God? Like, who cares about community? What would you say to that?
Okay, that's a really good question. I would say that a misconception we have as believers, and not all believers, and I would totally say we evolve over time, but I think that we, as millennials, whatever, just as people, we can have a tendency to believe that we cool, like just us, ourselves, or whatever. It's like, I'm good. I'm Gucci.
Right.
I don't have anything to work on.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
But that's not, like, you don't really see the fault in your stars, if you would, or like, you don't really see your frailty or the places that you need to grow in until you're in intentional, not just community, but intentional fellowship with other people.
Right.
Community is like a mirror.
Yeah.
And like, it shows you the reflection of yourself, you know? And so it's like, and I think that's what affects marriages and families, is because people get married, but they didn't grow up living in intentional community. And so they're like, now they're with this other individual, or they have kids or whatever, and they don't know how to treat people. They're still selfish. They're still maybe easily offended. You know, like all of these things is because it's like, you don't know how to do relationship or how to walk with other people because you have never lived in intentional community. So I would say, you know, a part of yourself, like if you have a couple of close friends, and I, like, for me, community should be built up of people who like know you, like emotionally, like mentally, spiritually, like they should be able to know you. It shouldn't be that the only person knows you is your spouse. What if you never get married? Like that's what? Like that's not cool. It's like, no, I don't believe that's the way the Lord intended it to be. So I would say, like, why community is because you don't really know you until you live with. And that doesn't, when I say live, I don't just mean like in a house that's like the mansion. I mean like intentionally walk with other people. Like that they know you, that they can hold you accountable, that they be like, yo, you're a jerk, you know, or whatever, or you're awesome, or whatever. Somebody who could point out your greatest strengths and your greatest weaknesses. Like that's what community is for. It's not just, I don't know, it's not a shallow word with shallow meanings. And I know in this day and age, like, we value that because, you know, Hashtag village, you my tribe. Hashtag, you know, all of that. That's
Right.
awesome and that's real, and I love that we're for that.
Right.
But for people who don't have a village or don't have a tribe or who were brought up believing that, you know, like you're not supposed to trust people, that people are not trustworthy, and don't tell people your business.
Right.
And like all of these stigmas that come with some of it with our culture, some of it with just like mistrust because we've been hurt in the past.
Right.
And things of that nature, like I would say community is important even if you've
Right.
been hurt, even if you were brought up
Exactly.
believing that you're not supposed to trust people, or like I don't know, like a lot of people believe a lot, like, you know, like friends aren't important. I don't know, just I hear some young people say some really crazy stuff, like
Yeah.
I don't need people, like,
Yeah.
so who you gonna kick it with, yourself?
That's
Like
good.
just you?
It's real.
Like that's not what's up. Like the more you're with just you, the more selfish of an individual
Yeah.
you're liable to be. I'm not gonna say that's always the case, but most definitely it could definitely be the case. Because it's like the only person that you have to take care of is yourself. And so even with like living a single life, you know, even if you're not married or whatever, it's like you can still learn to not be selfish and self-consumed. You can still learn to serve other people. You can still learn to serve the body of Christ. You know, like you can still learn all of those things, but it's in community that you learn those things. And so community is necessary.
Yeah.
Some would say a necessary evil. I won't say that because it's not evil. It's really good, but sometimes it does not feel good. It doesn't feel good because not everybody comes from where you come from.
Right, that's real. And something that I realized, just being transparent, like, you know, for probably like 2 to 3 years, I was pretty much, no, I would say for a good year, I was by myself after college, and I was done with the internship, and I was just in total isolation. And I just started to realize, especially like from what, even just hearing you talk, I'm just thinking about what God was talking to Adam about in Genesis when he was just saying that, you know, it's not good for man to be alone. And just so many people that are even now, like maybe you're watching this video and you feel alone and you're isolated, and you know, maybe there's been a lot of hurt that you've experienced, which happens in community, getting hurt. And so because again, people are imperfect, but the thing that I realize is just that how God was just saying that it's not good for man to be alone. And so for me, I've realized last year and this year being in community with other people, obviously believers, I have a chance to learn, grow in ways that I never thought was ever possible.
Yeah. And
realizing too what, you know, Lauren was saying, that, you know, community is like a mirror. And literally I don't like it, but there's just certain areas of my life where I'm not there yet. I'm not reflecting Jesus. And that makes me more vulnerable. Because I'm being known more. And it's not like it's a bad thing. It can only become a bad thing when those things are not confronted, those things are not addressed. And so anything what God's trying to do, obviously through community, that's another avenue. But through community, we get to grow, and obviously grow with each other, and then grow closer to God. And so if you're alone, hit me up from this video. We want to get in touch with you, but I mean, obviously that I just wanted to talk to Lauren because she has so much wealth when it comes to community. Obviously we don't know everything, but just some of the things that we've experienced and things that are on our heart, we wanted to share with you guys. And I hope this video has been an encouragement to you. Lauren, do you have anything else you wanted to share?
I could probably talk about this all day.
Yeah.
I would say, like, if you are alone, like, that's not the best that God has for you. And so, like, praying that the Lord would bring community into your life, that's important. I think knowing, though, when he does, like, there are some things about you that may need to change because we have to learn to live with people.
That's true.
And so, and I think that's another big red flag of fear when it comes to community is like, people don't love me for me. It's like, no, we can love you for you, but if you are a little touchy about some things, it's like, no, like there's a better you. There's a more perfected you. There is a Christ likeness that He's trying to form in you, and community is going to help you get there. Like, so it's like I just want to encourage you guys, like, be prepared to shift, to change, to move. Like for the Lord to speak to you through other people. And that is a good thing, you know, and find yourself friendly, because if you're not friendly, it's going to be hard to make friends and keep them.
That is true.
There's some people that's like, I don't have no friends. It's like, you're not very friendly. It's not very often that we even catch you smiling. Like, that's just the thing. And so, yeah, and then I guess the last point would be like, community will confront so many of your fears, the main one being fear of rejection. Like the fear of not being loved and known and seen for who you are, and being pushed away. And so I would say, if you're going to do community, get ready for freedom.
That's true.
And
that is true. Well, thank you, Lauren, for helping out.
You're welcome.
Dropping your wisdom and your nuggets. You guys tune in, like this video, comment, share it to your friends, family, whoever. That'll be good. Love you guys. See you guys on the next video. Peace.
Yeah. Wow. Boom, nigga.